He said stop to Paul Martinson in the booth and went right into it, reaching for the notes, much more urgency, much more energy in the song. One take, that's it. It was never remixed. That 2-track rough from the session is on the record, and that was it.
So not
one of the most gorgeous. I got the harmonica player that's working with us. We were just talking about that brilliant solo, and Dylan is no virtuoso, but that solo at the tail end of Tangled Up in Blue is like a musical Picasso. It's really very special.
Well, Kevin, you know, as a Minneapolis guy, I mean, there's always this thing that I call the Prince syndrome, where an artist gets to a certain point where he has gotten rid of all the people who came up with him, you know, all the people who were his managers, his friends, his bandmates, and he's surrounded by this new crew of people once he's become successful, and he no longer has the fortitude to have people say, no, that's a bad idea, to be challenged. And one of the things I think is encouraging about Dylan is he's always putting himself in situations where people will say to him, hey, Bob, that's not so good. Try it this way. In his band, I just think it's interesting that then he doesn't credit them.
Yeah.
I don't know that many people challenge him. I've always, I've read all the books and.
Well, I think the current for the last 5, 6, 7 years.
I sure hope so. I hope you're right about that because I've been around him a number of times before and since, and the man is surrounded by yes men, and he's made some records that you can tell, or was at certain points. But I was no genius for speaking up. I just told him what I thought. It was just the way I felt about it. I didn't really have much to lose.
Yeah, that's kind of the key, and the serendipity of that whole session, just being able to go in there with a group of guys he'd never met before, go in there and record one take of a song.
Yeah.
It ends up being a classic that's played on radio for 25 years.
The guy that really kicked things off was Chris Webber. He went into the booth with Chris Webber, who's here in the room with me now, and he struck up a conversation with him. He's warming Chris up, breaking up a conversation. Hey, Chris, do you write songs? Well, play me something you wrote. And he played something, and it was really good. Chris played it for me the other day, and it's really a nice folk piece. And Dylan said, hey, well, that's pretty good. Play me something else you wrote. And he played him another one. Dylan was developing this great relationship, and he said, well, you really, really play well. And listen to this. And then he played this C minor chord that just sounded, we heard it from outside, and Chris heard it there, and later told me that, it sounded a little odd to begin with. Once he learned it, Dylan sent him out of the booth and had him teach the song to the band. So Chris, who's on, I think at least probably 4 out of the 5 things recut, at least 3, probably 4 out of the 5 things that are recut. Chris made major contributions to all those songs, and was really a spark in terms of the guitar sound, that crispy, anonymous, bright Minneapolis sound that Paul Nelson refers to in the Rolling Stone reviews.
Yeah.
That's Chris Webber.
Well, Chris Webber, Billy Peterson, Bill Berg, Kevin Odegaard, rock history thanks you, even if Bob Dylan doesn't.
Thank you, Kevin. Thanks for being on Sound Opinions. We got to move on.
When we come back, we talk to Paul Metza and Rick Shufchik about their book on the re-recording process of the album. That's coming up on Sound Opinions.
WBEZ is supported by Deeper Connections Counseling, helping people connect to themselves, the people they love, and the world around them through individual and couples therapy. More information at dcctherapy.com. WBEZ is supported by Nourishing Hope. With more than 50 years of helping neighbors in need, they've provided food, mental health, and social services. More on supporting their work this season at nourishinghopechI.org. This is 91.5 WBEZ and WBEZ.org.
to Sound Opinions. I'm Greg Cott. He is Jim DeRogatis. We'd like to welcome the co-authors of a 2023 book called Blood in the Tracks, the Minnesota musicians behind Dylan's masterpiece. Paul Metza, welcome to the show, Paul.
Thanks for having me.
And Rick Shufchik. Rick, welcome to Sound Opinions.
Thank you. It's good to be here.
You know, we have to ask any Dylanologist with a new book like this, my God, is there a popular musician about whom more has been written in the last century? Paul, why did you think it was worth you and Rick digging deep into what essentially was 2 days, two very historic days that helped produce a masterpiece? But what was the impetus for writing Blood in the Tracks?
Well, it actually started in 2001. I produced a show called The $1 Million Bash at First Avenue and 7th Street. After
So,
40 musicians from the Twin Cities. And I had actually gotten
I'm basically,
a request to play at a bunch of Dylan fans in Turkey.
there he is.
A horse farm
Sam?
sailing operation. And while I was considering that, I thought, well, Minneapolis would be really remiss, and Minnesota in general.
Well, we're gonna get out of the car right now
to
anyways. We'll
not
find
really
out.
to Bob Dylan. So I got a hold of a guy named Nate Krantz at first. He started working there. He was a young
Well, I was gonna
guy.
say, because I didn't really say
I
anything.
called my friend.
Bought my cat, like a humidifier, but with steam. A steamer or something like that. To call it a vaporizer, but this motherfucker didn't work, so oh shit, I'm returning this right now. Then I'm gonna go try and find myself some ice cream, because if I can find a 31 flavors out here, they probably got pralines and cream, and I'm going clean in on that bitch with like 4 scoops, because it's been a minute. Now, secondly, that was about a 6-minute car ride. If you're still with me, God bless you. If not, it's cool too. Whatever. But what I'm gonna say is I just posted something about there not being any fog today. And guess what? It's fog again. See what I'm saying? Now watch. See the glaze. See the fog. See Pedro running for his 6-pack. What's up, homie? Nah. Go like this, and you can't see the sky again. However, you know as well as I know that motherfucker's sitting around here somewhere, right? He should be over here at this point in my life. It's almost like where's Waldo, but these lights right here make it real difficult. However, lock the car, check. Let's walk in. I really think it's up there somewhere. It's like fucking hiding in that cloud. Let me see. What was that shit? There he is. How'd I know? You feel me? How'd I know? Because shit like that is just shit that I know. And a lot of y'all know. But there he is. No fret. Just had to let y'all see the fact that I just left from that crib. That motherfucker came with for majority of the ride, I'd say. What I could record of it, of course. And then sitting here at the end outside of Walgreens waiting on me. So I'm gonna upload this right away, as I always do, otherwise I forget and I won't put it up there. No editing per usual, because I don't even know how to do some shit like that. And excuse me, that's right, look, I'll move him out the way. Anyways, get back to y'all in a minute.